Can you hear me on the
I hear you on my phone.
Yeah, I wonder if you can't hear me on Zoom.
Mm-mm.
Maybe
You're doing audio?
Yeah, join audio.
Okay.
And then that way when we
Yep, I got you now. All right, let me hang up the phone.
Okay. I can't hear you. You can probably hear me.
Yep. Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay.
All right.
Hey.
All right. Okay, so for the benchmark assignment, we are going to use these liquidity ratios. Okay, you're going to use these first for that first part of the problem. And the current ratio, the formula is given right here with the current assets divided by current liabilities. So to look at that for target, you're going to go to financials. And current assets and current liabilities are on the balance sheet. So we need to click on balance sheet, and we should find that information down here. Here's total current assets. Make sure that's the correct year. Let me scroll up, see how that, okay, the most current year is over on the far right. So you're gonna use that 2019 number, total current assets. There it is. And then let's scroll on down. We should find current liabilities. There it is, current liabilities. So you're just gonna plug those numbers into the formula, which is current assets divided by current liabilities, and see what you get. And you hope that this number is above 1, and it very likely may not be, which is not the end of the world. But if it's above 1, that means that current assets is bigger than current liabilities, and that's what we want. We want more assets than debt. So you can do that for each company, for Target and Walmart, and then compare. Let's see where we can find industry average, if they have that up here. Sounds like there was somewhere else. I haven't looked around a whole lot, so let's see. Should find some kind of industry average. Financials, right back here. Okay, here they are. Here they are. Yeah. Industry. Okay, this is under the analysis tab, and then just scroll down there to the middle, and you've got current ratio right here. So industry is 1.13. And actually, check it out. It's already got targets calculated for you, 0.84. So, you know, we said that should be over 1. So, you know, it's close to 1. Could be worse, but could be better. With the industry average being 1.13, industry average is better than their current ratio, meaning that their liquidity, their ability to pay their debts is better. The industry is better than Target's. So if you go back here, there's also accounts receivable turnover. They may not have the industry average for those. Let's see what else they gave you. They gave you quick ratio. You could do that one. Compare, you know, if you're not given the industry average, you're not given it. So you have to just kind of go with what you're given. But you can certainly compare the current ratio, the debt to equity ratio. You can compare that one since you're given the industry average on that one. So if it's there, use it. If not, just compare to Walmart. Okay, compare to the competitor that you have chosen. Okay, so there's those. Let's scroll down here. The second part is solvency. And solvency is very similar to liquidity, but we're looking at more of a long-term, and liquidity is more of a short-term statistic, and solvency is more of a long-term. You know, if you're insolvent, that means you can't pay your debts. So we are looking to see how strong of a financial situation the company is in. So there's debt to assets ratio. You're given the formula right here. Total liabilities divided by total assets. We actually just saw those a while ago. We looked at current, but we can go to total. Go back to financials. Again, assets and liabilities are on the balance sheet. Click on balance sheet and scroll down here. We've got total assets right there. And we've got total liabilities. Why do they break it down? I guess we'll just use this number here. Current plus, what are they doing here? The 15. For these two together, let's say that's 41 together. So this has got to be the total. I'm not sure why it's not listed on this line, but I know that's the total because here total liabilities and equity together is 41. So that's the 11 plus this one's got to be. So this would be the total liabilities, the 29. So you plug those in and interpret that. The book does a pretty good job of explaining, you know, what's good. If it's higher the better, lower the better. We want low ratio debt to assets. That's what we prefer. Okay, we want low debt. We want to own our assets and not have to pay back money for them. Okay, and you know, for this project or this particular problem, I'd say 3 of each. You know, this one's got 1, 2. This one's got 3 under solvency. 3's fine. 3 different statistics, 3 analytical procedures is fine. The liquidity I had, you know, I think they had a lot more. So, you know, I don't necessarily expect you to do every single one of them, but I would pick at least 3 and do those. Profitability is the third and I believe the final area you're supposed to look at. And profitability, you've got the ROE, you've got ROA, return on assets, profit margin, asset turnover. Let's just look at profit margin for a minute. The formula for that is net income over net sales. So net income and net sales are found on the income statement. So if we go back over here, we're on the balance sheet now, so we got to flip back over to income statement. Scroll down, and we need net income is here, 2937, and net sales. Oops, it's going to be up here at the top. Total revenue is going to be the number we're going to use there. Actually, for net sales, you could use, no, we're going to use the 75. This is cost of goods sold. They call it cost of revenue. We're going to use the total revenue there, the 75. Net sales means gross sales minus any returns, allowances, or discounts. They don't break that down. That total revenue is already in that format. They don't really tell you that at that point. But what you need to do, regardless of which number you use, you've got to use the same for each company. Okay, so if to make it a fair comparison. But yeah, we're going to use this total revenue and then the net income number down here. Let's see if this was one of theirs that they had on the analysis thing. And now they've got profit margin on there. They have the debt to equity. I think we looked at debt to assets, but there's a debt to equity that you have the industry statistic for. So does that help a little bit?
It does. It helps a lot.
Okay. Yeah, the book, if you'll just kind of follow along with it, it's going to be a great guide to go with. Let me just look down here. Yeah, see, this one's got several. So I would pick 3. If you want to pick more than 3, that's fine, but
Pick
you don't
3
have to.
formulas.
Yeah, 3 from each category. So this one has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, profitability's got 8 of them in there. You know, I'd pick 3 at least to do. I don't expect you to do all 8 of them. If there's an industry average on that MSM page, I'd pick that one because that you could elaborate a little bit more on that one. But there were only 3 listed for the profitability, or not the profit, the solvency ones.
So for because I'm looking at the questions, the A, B, and C. It says the company's liquidity. So we do the liquidity formula, right? Did liquidity have 3 formulas?
Right. You'll just pick 3 that are listed. That'll be enough. Some students are going to do them all, which is fine. Because they're, you know, once you get started on them, they're, you know, you just plug in the numbers. So it's interpreting that takes a little bit more time. Let me, especially once you get your spreadsheet set up, you just plug them in and hit enter, and they kind of.
Are we doing this on a Excel spreadsheet, or
you don't have to? You don't have to. I would, because it calculates it for you. So you just put in the formula. Where did that go? What page am I on? I'm too far. Let me go to 403. Here it is. So yeah, so for part A, you'll just pick 3. Part B, there were only 3 listed, so you'll do those 3. Part C, you can pick 3 of the 8 that were listed, and that'll be enough to come to a conclusion.
It might be easier just to do an Excel too, huh? Because this is pretty much numbers we're talking about. It's kind of hard to put this into words.
Yeah, and the word part is the interpreting part of it. So that's why it mentions, you know, Word document. But I have gotten, you do need to write paragraphs, you know, or, you know, some type of written word about, you know, comparing Walmart and Target's current ratio. I found that Target had a ratio of 0.84 and Walmart was 0.96, and I can come to the conclusion that Walmart is in a better financial position because it's closer to 1. You know, you want that current ratio to be 1 or more, so the higher the better. So it's that kind of you know, explanation that is good. So you know, when I grade, I want to know that you understand the material. I'm not much of a stickler for grammar and, you know, stuff like that. It's, you know, I want to know that you know that revenues minus expenses is net income. You know, I don't really care what you call it. You might call it net profit. You might call it net income. You might, whatever. I just want to know that you understand what's happening. I'm not worried about formatting. I'm not really worried about grammar. I'm just worried about that you know where the numbers go and what they mean.
Right. Okay. How many words are you requiring for the paragraph that we write or whatever?
Okay. Go back to the benchmark assignment here, and
it says at least 750 words.
You know, and just to be honest, I'm not counting every word. I want it to be enough. And see, you know, the course designers create the course, and then I go in and grade it. So I'm not necessarily going to word count every single, you know, document, because I just want it to be enough to where you have explained those analysis. And I know that's really unclear probably, but you know, you want to explain it enough. If you want to be sure, you can put 750 words in there. That's about 3 pages, you know, of double-spaced a Word document. And really, it's probably going to take you that much. If you have 9 formulas that you're comparing, in the past, students have attached both the Excel and the Word document, or they have done Excel and then copied and pasted the actual calculation, into the Word document and then talked about it. You're going to come up with 750 words. It's not going to be hard to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have 3 per page, it's going to be pretty easy to have your 3 pages worth. So I think once you get started, you're going to see that you're probably going to have more than 750 words.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you can even elaborate and say, the current assets and current liabilities are found on the balance sheet, and you could beef it up a little bit too with that explanation.
Right. Okay, maybe I'll just write the Word document then.
Okay, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally fine.
Words in a Word document.
Mm-hmm.
Because the numbers are right there on MSN. So
Mm-hmm.
Excel, it's going to take me a minute to copy the numbers over in Excel and then do the formulas, that's going to take me at least an hour,
Mm-hmm.
So I could do the 750 words and then, just write about it, I guess. Yeah,
you can just kind of do it on paper and then put your explanation on the Word document. But when you write it in the Word document, be sure to kind of show your work, so if you wouldn't just want to put Target's current ratio is this and Walmart is this. You want to put Target's current assets are this divided by current ratio, or divided by current liabilities is this equals current ratio of, because I can give you partial credit that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you just put the current ratio is 0.75, well, I don't know how you got that. You might have had the current assets right, but not the current liabilities. And then I can give you partial credit if I knew that. Okay, so make sure to show your work.
Okay, so just pretty much explain the formulas.
Mm-hmm.
Also.
Yep. And I don't think you need to do any more than 3 per section. I think that'll be plenty to get to your word limit there and to explain each of them.
Okay.
To explain the liquidity, solvency, and profitability.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Hope that helps.
It helps a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.